Do you know that the sky have many things like what do you think? Like Milky Way that is present here. So now let's start our lesson. This is our book, Universe Science. So let's start. So this is our lesson, our universe, the solar system. So let's start reading from the book. There are many amazing things are visible in the sky. In the daytime, we can see the sun in the sky. We can also see the moon and many twinkling stars in the night sky. A star? What is a star? A star is a hot ball of burning gases. It produces its own light. Yet they appear tiny and faint in comparison to the sun. This is because the sun is much closer to the earth than the other stars. Means the stars are much bigger and brighter than the sun. Okay. So let's start. Okay, so now let's see a short video.
Well, I am in space. And do you know what that is? That is our galaxy, and it's called the Milky Way. Do you see that? That bright light is our solar system. That's where we live. Come, let's take a closer look at our solar system. Zoom in! This is how our solar system looks like, with planets revolving around the sun. The sun is the main source of light for all the planets. Our solar system has 8 major planets. Mercury. Mercury is the closest planet to the sun. A year in Mercury is 88 days long. And you know what?
So now let's start talking about the Mercury. Mercury, it is the closest planet to the sun. It is the smallest planet of the solar system. It is very hot during the day and very cold at night. It has no moon. It takes 88 days to complete one revolution around
You
the
will
sun.
see Mercury from Earth.
Now let's start talking about next planet. Now let's start talking about Venus. It is the second planet from the sun. It is the hottest planet of the solar system. It is also the brightest planet. It can be seen in the sky as a bright object just before the sunrise or just after the sunset. That is why it is called morning star or evening star. It is the closest planet to the earth. It also has no moon. It takes 225 days to complete one revolution around the sun. Now let's talk about Earth. It is the third planet from the sun. It is the only planet which life is visible. It is only known planet that has water in liquid form and oxygen in its atmosphere. Nearly 70 out of 100 of Earth's surface is covered with water. This makes this makes Earth appear blue from space. So it is also known as the blue planet. It has one moon. It takes 365 days to complete one revolution around the sun. Now let's start talking about Mars. It is the fourth planet from the sun. It is covered with red dust and so it appears red. That is why it is also called the red planet. It has two moons. It takes 687 days to complete one revolution around the sun. Now, let's talk about Jupiter. It is the fifth planet from the sun. It is the largest planet of the solar system. It spins faster than other planets. It has 79 moons. It takes 12 years to complete one revolution around the sun. Now let's talk about Saturn. It is the sixth planet from the sun. It is the second largest planet of the solar system. It has rings around it, which are made of pieces of rocks and ice. There are 7 rings around the middle of this planet. It has 62 moons. It takes 13. Let me write it for you. No, it is not 13. It takes 30 years to complete one revolution around the sun. Now let's talk about Uranus. It is the seventh planet from the sun. It is the third largest planet of the solar system. It was the first planet that was covered. It was the first planet that was discovered using a telescope. It has 27 moons. It takes 84 years to complete one revolution around the sun. Now, let's talk about Neptune. It is the eighth and farthest planet of the solar system. This planet is known for its fast-blowing cold winds. It is the fourth largest planet of the solar system. It has 14 moons. It takes 165 years to complete one revolution around the sun. Now, let's talk about inner planets and outer planets. Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars are inner planets. Now, let's talk about inner planets. Now, let's talk a little bit about inner planets. They are made up of rocks. These planets are called rocky planets. Now, let's see what is outer planets. Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune are the outer planets. Now, let's talk about outer planets. Now, outer planets, they are made up of frozen gases. They are much larger in size than rocky planets. These planets are called gas giants. Excellent. Very good. Now, let's talk about layer of Earth. Now, this, 1 minute. This brown color these are the layers of the earth. This brown color is called crust. Sorry, Byron. Sorry, I'm really sorry. Okay, here as you can see here, you can see this blue thing. This is called what? This is called. This is called crust. Okay, and here this brown. This is called mantle, and this yellow is called outer core, and this is called inner core. Okay, now I hope you has understand layer of earth. Now let's talk about volcano. What is volcano? Volcanoes are formed when magma formed in the earth's upper mantle works in its way to the surface. At the surface, it orbits to form lava flows and ash deposits. Now let's give another answer. Volcano, an opening in the surface of the earth through which hot gases and molten rocks are ejected out. Now let's see what is the difference what is the difference between lava and magma. This is very easy. As you can see here, this yellow things which come out from the volcano is called lava, and this red things which will be inside the volcano is the magma. As you can see, it is very easy. Now let's talk about Earth rotation. Earth spins around its axis just as a top spins around its spindle. This spinning movement is called Earth rotation. At the same time the Earth spins on its axis, it also orbits or revolves around the Sun. This movement is called revolution. Now let's see what is rotation and what is revolution in synonyms, in another words. The rotation, the spinning movement of the earth on its own axis, and revolution is the movement of the earth around the sun. Now let's talk about earth tidal axis cases, the season or change of season. Now throughout the year, different parts of earth receive the sun's most direct rays. So when North Pole tilts toward the sun, it's summer in northern hemisphere, and when the South Pole tilts toward the sun, it's winter in the north hemisphere. Now let's talk about changes of season in little bit tall talking. Changes of season. The revolution of earth around the sun causes change of season on the earth. When the North Pole is tilted toward the sun, the northern hemisphere receives direct sunrise. It results in hotter and longer days. Thus, the northern hemisphere has summer season. At the same time, the South Pole is tilted away from the sun, so the South Hemisphere receives slanted sun rays. The days are cooler and shorter here. It is thus winter season in the southern hemisphere. When North Pole is tilted away from the sun, the northern hemisphere receives slanted sun rays. It thus has winter during this time. The southern hemisphere receives direct sunrise. It thus has summer. Noon is the hottest part of the day. It is because the sun is directly overhead. The sun rays travels the least distance to reach us. In the morning and evening, the sun is low in the sky. The sun rays are slanted. They travel longer distance to reach us, so morning and evening are cooler. The equator receives almost the same amount of sunlight around the year. The seasons do not change here, and it is like summer throughout the year. Now let's ask some questions. What would happen if Earth's axis were not tilted? The answer: if Earth's axis were not tilted, the North Pole and the South Pole would always be at the same distance from the sun. The two hemispheres would receive the same amount of sunlight throughout the year. Thus, there would be no change of season. In India, there are 5 seasons. In between summer and winter, there is the autumn season. In between winter and summer, there is spring season. In the neither too hot nor too cold during autumn and spring season. The 5th season is the monsoon. During this season, it rains for most of the days. Okay, now let's talk about vocabulary. Okay, core, innermost layer of Earth is called core. Outmost layer of Earth is called crust. An imaginary line that runs around the center of the Earth at an angle of 90 to the axis and divides the Earth into 2 equal halves is called equator. Middle layer of Earth is called mantle. Fixed path along which planets move around the sun is called orbits. The movement of the Earth around the sun is called revolution. The spinning movement of the Earth on its own axis is called rotation. Objects that revolve around the planet is called satellites. The sun, the 8 planets and their slits, along with some heavenly body, is called solar system. An opening in the surface of the Earth through which hot gases and molten rocks are ejected out is called volcano. Like this, we has finished. I hope you put. So don't forget like, share, subscribe and click bell tool to get all our new videos. You can click the bell tool when you subscribe. You will get the bell tool to get all our new videos. Bye.